You've probably been hearing all the buzz about ChatGPT-5 and Claude, and maybe you're wondering which one is actually worth your time and money. Well, I've spent months diving deep into both of these AI titans, testing them on everything from complex coding projects to creative writing tasks. Here's what surprised me most. The answer to which is better isn't what you'd expect, and it could completely change how you approach AI in 2025. Welcome back to bitbiased.ai, where we do the research so you don't have to. Join our community of AI enthusiasts. Click the newsletter link in the description for weekly analysis delivered straight to your inbox. So in this video, I'm going to break down everything you need to know about OpenAI's ChatGPT-5 versus Anthropic's Claude 4 models. We'll explore their real-world capabilities, pricing strategies, and which scenarios each one absolutely dominates. By the end, you'll know exactly which AI assistant matches your specific needs and budget. Let's start with something that caught everyone off guard when GPT-5 launched in August: the capability revolution. When OpenAI dropped GPT-5 on August 7th, 2025, they didn't just release another incremental update. They engineered something fundamentally different. A unified architecture that literally thinks differently depending on your question. Picture this. Ask GPT-5 something simple like, "What's the weather like?" and it gives you a lightning-fast response. But pose a complex, multi-step problem, and here's where it gets interesting. The system automatically routes your query through what OpenAI calls their thinking process, engaging deeper reasoning capabilities that can work through problems for minutes or even hours. This isn't just marketing speak. According to OpenAI's own testing, GPT-5 doesn't just outperform previous models, it's rewriting what we thought was possible. They're claiming it beats human doctors at medical knowledge tests and can write sophisticated poetry that would fool literature professors. But wait until you see what Anthropic fired back with. Claude 4 arrived in May 2025 with a bold declaration. Anthropic called Claude Opus 4 the world's best coding model. That's a massive claim, but here's what makes it believable. While GPT-5 focuses on that smart routing system, Claude takes a different approach entirely. It's built for sustained, marathon-level thinking. We're talking about an AI that can work on a single coding project for 7 straight hours without losing focus or context. The numbers back this up too. Claude Opus 4 scored between 72 to 75% on SWE Bench, which tests AI models on real-world software engineering challenges. To put that in perspective, that's state-of-the-art performance on some of the toughest coding problems you can throw at an AI. But here's the fascinating part. Both models support massive context windows. GPT-5 can handle up to 400,000 tokens through its API, which translates to roughly 300,000 words. That's like feeding it an entire novel and having it remember every detail. Claude operates with around 200,000 tokens, but it adds something unique. Memory files that can persist across hours-long tasks, almost like giving the AI a notepad to jot down important insights as it works. The performance deep dive. Now let's talk about where these models truly shine, because this is where your decision gets interesting. Both GPT-5 and Claude 4 have what I call speed modes. They can give you quick answers or dive deep into complex reasoning. But they approach this differently, and understanding this difference could save you hours of frustration. GPT-5's routing system is like having a smart assistant who instantly knows whether your question needs a quick Google search or a PhD-level research session. The system decides in milliseconds whether to give you a fast response or engage what OpenAI calls extended reasoning. Early testing shows this creates a uniquely smooth experience. You get instant gratification for simple queries, but can still tackle expert-level problems when needed. Claude's approach feels more deliberate. Both Opus 4 and Sonnet 4 offer near-instant and extended thinking modes, but here's what sets them apart. They're designed for persistence. When Anthropic demonstrated Claude Opus 4 playing Pokemon Red for 7 hours straight, actually playing the game, making strategic decisions, building memory files about the world, it wasn't just a publicity stunt. It was proving that this AI can maintain focus and build upon its knowledge over extended periods in ways we haven't seen before. For coding specifically, the differences become even more pronounced. GPT-5 positions itself as our strongest coding model to date, with particular strengths in front-end development and debugging large code bases. The integration with development environments is seamless. You can access GPT-5 directly through IDES and even the ChatGPT mobile app for coding support on the go. But Claude's coding reputation is built on something different: depth and project-wide understanding. Companies like Repli and GitHub have been testing Claude 4 extensively, and their feedback has been remarkable. They're reporting dramatic advancements in multi-file code changes and project-wide fixes. GitHub is even planning to power their next Copilot agent with Claude Sonnet 4, specifically citing its excellence in agentic scenarios, situations where the AI needs to understand context, make decisions, and take actions across multiple files and systems. When it comes to creativity and language, we see another fascinating split. GPT-5 showcases raw creative power. OpenAI has demonstrated it writing iambic pentameter, crafting complex story plots, and even performing legal analysis simultaneously. The model seems designed to impress with its versatility and technical precision in language tasks. Claude takes a more nuanced approach to creativity. Early reviewers consistently note that Claude writes with a more natural, empathetic tone. It's more likely to acknowledge uncertainty and provide hedging language when appropriate. This isn't a weakness. It's a feature that makes Claude particularly valuable for customer-facing content, educational materials, and situations where a human-like touch matters more than technical showmanship. The accuracy challenge. Here's where things get really interesting, and this next part might influence your choice more than raw capabilities. Both companies have tackled the hallucination problem, AI models making up information, but they've chosen dramatically different approaches. OpenAI introduced what they call safe completions training for GPT-5. Instead of simply refusing to answer challenging or potentially problematic prompts, the model learns to provide the most helpful safe answer possible or clearly explain why it can't fulfill a request. This training approach has yielded impressive results. OpenAI reports roughly 80% fewer hallucinations in GPT-5's careful thinking mode compared to previous versions. But here's what makes this particularly valuable in real-world use. GPT-5 is 82% less likely to provide disallowed content compared to GPT 3.5, while simultaneously being more helpful across all types of prompts. That's a rare combination. Usually making AI safer means making it less useful, but OpenAI seems to have cracked that code. Anthropic's approach centers on transparency and source attribution. When Claude operates in research mode, it doesn't just give you information. It pulls facts from the web and cites specific sources for each claim. You always know exactly where an answer originated. This level of transparency extends throughout Claude's responses, with the model more likely to explicitly acknowledge uncertainty rather than confidently stating questionable information. The safety testing results are equally impressive, but focus on different threats. Claude Opus 4's defenses stopped about 89% of malicious prompt injection attacks, up from 71% in previous versions. Its code generation filters achieved nearly 100% accuracy against malicious requests. These aren't just academic improvements. They represent real protection against the kinds of attacks that could compromise business systems or personal data. Safety philosophy and implementation. Both companies take safety seriously, but their philosophical approaches reveal different priorities and could influence which model fits your organization's needs. OpenAI treats GPT-5 as what they call a high-capability system, particularly in sensitive domains like biology and chemistry. They conducted over 5,000 hours of red team testing specifically for biothreat scenarios and developed multiple layers of defensive systems. This extensive testing process involved collaboration with external organizations like the CAISI and UKAISI, reflecting OpenAI's commitment to responsible AI development. The result is a model that maintains broad capabilities while implementing sophisticated safeguards that activate contextually based on the nature of your requests. Anthropic's constitutional AI approach operates differently, but with equal rigor. They train Claude on explicitly defined ethical principles, creating what they call constitutional behavior that's baked into the model's responses, rather than added as an external filter. This approach creates more predictable and explainable safety behavior, which can be crucial for enterprise applications where you need to understand and audit AI decision-making. The transparency extends to Anthropic's evaluation processes. Their model reports detailed extensive testing against thousands of adversarial cases. For example, after implementing safety updates, Claude's prompt injection success rate dropped from 23.6% to just 11.2% in browser contexts. They even publish assessments looking for deception or hidden goals in Claude's behavior, finding no evidence of systematic misalignment. The economics of AI excellence. Let's talk money, because the pricing difference between these models is substantial and could determine which one makes sense for your use case. GPT-5 through the OpenAI API costs $1.25 per 1,000 input tokens and $10 per 1,000 output tokens. But here's what makes this particularly attractive. OpenAI also offers smaller variants like GPT-5 Nano at just 5 cents input and 40 cents output per 1,000 tokens. For interactive use, OpenAI provides multiple subscription tiers. The standard ChatGPT Plus plan at $20 per month gives you access to GPT-5, while the new ChatGPT Pro plan at $200 per month unlocks GPT-5 Pro, their most powerful variant designed for the most challenging problems. Claude's pricing strategy positions it as a premium offering. Claude Opus 4 costs $15 per 1,000 input tokens and $75 per 1,000 output tokens, making GPT-5's output 7.5 times cheaper than Claude Opus. Even Claude Sonnet 4, their lighter model, costs $3 input and $15 output per 1,000 tokens, still significantly more expensive than GPT-5. This pricing difference becomes critical when you consider scale. If you're building an application that will process thousands of queries daily, GPT-5's cost advantage could save tens of thousands of dollars monthly. However, if you need Claude's specific capabilities, like extended context memory, superior coding performance, or more natural language generation, the premium might be justified for certain use cases. User experience and integration ecosystem. The way you interact with these models reveals another key differentiator. ChatGPT offers what feels like a mature, consumer-focused ecosystem. OpenAI provides polished web interfaces, dedicated desktop applications, and mobile apps for iOS and Android. They've integrated features like voice mode for natural speech conversations and project/memory systems for organizing long-term work. The integration story extends far beyond OpenAI's own platforms. GPT-5 powers Microsoft's Copilot across Windows and Office applications, integrates with Bing Chat, and there's even a Siri integration announced for iOS 18. For developers, VS Code extensions provide seamless access to GPT-5's coding capabilities directly within the development environment. Claude's approach feels more enterprise and productivity focused. The primary access point remains the Claude.ai website, but Anthropic has invested heavily in professional integrations. Claude Code provides plugins for VS Code and JetBrains IDEs, allowing Claude to edit files directly within your development workflow. They've even launched Claude for Xcode, targeting Apple developers specifically. But here's where Claude's integration strategy gets particularly interesting. Their new Chrome extension allows Claude to see and interact with web pages, essentially becoming a browser-based assistant. Combined with their integrations platform, connectors to Gmail, Google Drive, Slack, Notion, Canva, and dozens of other productivity applications, Claude is positioning itself as an AI that lives within your existing workflow rather than replacing it. Real-world adoption patterns. The usage statistics tell a fascinating story about how these models are finding their places in the market. According to Stack Overflow's latest developer survey, about 81 to 82% of developers report using OpenAI's GPT models in their work, while Claude Sonnet is used by roughly 43 to 45% of developers. This suggests that while ChatGPT maintains dominant market share, Claude has carved out a significant niche, particularly among technical professionals. The broader adoption patterns are equally revealing. Research indicates that nearly half of all companies now employ ChatGPT in some capacity, with over 80% of Fortune 500 firms integrating it into workflows within 9 months of launch. In consumer markets, approximately 28% of Americans report recent ChatGPT usage, with adoption highest among younger demographics. Claude's market position appears more specialized but growing. Industry reports suggest Claude Code has become what one analyst calls a runaway market leader in AI coding assistance, despite ChatGPT's broader market dominance. This indicates that Claude is succeeding by focusing on specific use cases where its unique capabilities, extended context, superior code understanding, and tool integration provide clear advantages over more general-purpose alternatives. Industry validation and expert feedback. The professional feedback from major technology companies provides insight into how these models perform under real-world pressure. Companies like Replit, GitHub, and Rakuten have conducted extensive testing of Claude 4 on demanding projects. Rakuten's test case, having Claude Opus refactor an open-source codebase for 7 continuous hours, demonstrated sustained performance that impressed engineering teams. GitHub's decision to build their next Copilot agent on Claude Sonnet 4 represents significant industry validation, particularly their emphasis on Claude's excellence in agentic scenarios, where AI needs to understand context, make decisions, and coordinate actions across multiple systems. However, GPT-5's rollout hasn't been without challenges. Early launch issues forced OpenAI to temporarily revert some paying customers to GPT-4o, highlighting the complexity of deploying frontier AI models at scale. These teething problems appear resolved, but they underscore the challenges both companies face in maintaining reliability while pushing performance boundaries. Industry analysts from firms like Menlo Ventures note that Claude Opus 4 outperforms OpenAI's models on many reasoning and factuality benchmarks, making it a preferred choice for enterprises in certain contexts. Conversely, GPT-5 consistently receives praise for raw computational power and versatility across diverse problem domains. The strategic choice framework. So which model should you choose? The answer depends on understanding your specific requirements and constraints. GPT-5 represents the choice for raw analytical power, broad versatility, and cost-effective scaling. If you need an AI that can handle diverse tasks efficiently, integrate broadly across platforms, and operate economically at scale, GPT-5 provides compelling advantages. Claude positions itself as the collaborative, specialist option. If your work involves extended coding projects, requires natural language nuance, benefits from tool integrations, or demands transparent source attribution, Claude's premium pricing may be justified by its specialized capabilities. The reality for many organizations and individuals may be using both models strategically, leveraging GPT-5 for general-purpose tasks and cost-sensitive applications, while deploying Claude for specialized scenarios where its unique strengths provide clear value. The AI landscape continues evolving rapidly, with both OpenAI and Anthropic pushing boundaries in different directions. GPT-5 emphasizes broad capability and efficient scaling, while Claude focuses on depth, transparency, and workflow integration. Understanding these philosophical differences helps predict how each platform will develop and which aligns better with your long-term AI strategy. As we move through 2025, The choice between ChatGPT-5 and Claude 4 represents more than selecting between two products. It's choosing between two visions of how AI should integrate into human work and creativity. Both approaches have merit, and both continue advancing the frontier of what's possible with artificial intelligence. Conclusion. The battle between ChatGPT-5 and Claude 4 isn't really about declaring a single winner. It's about understanding how two different approaches to AI excellence can serve different needs. GPT-5 delivers impressive versatility and cost-effectiveness, making advanced AI accessible for a wide range of applications. Claude 4 offers specialized depth and workflow integration that can transform how professionals approach complex, sustained work. The best strategy might not be choosing sides, but understanding when each tool provides maximum value. As both platforms continue evolving, staying informed about their developments will help you make the most of this remarkable moment in AI advancement. What's your experience been with these models? Have you found specific use cases where one clearly outperforms the other? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the AI tools shaping our future. The conversation around AI is just getting started, and I want to make sure you're equipped with the knowledge to make the most of these incredible technologies.